This is it, folks. The end is nigh. No, I'm not talking about the current state of our world. I'm talking about Game of Thrones Season 8. It's felt like it's been a long old journey filled with a lot of boobs, blood, and dancing dwarfs. A show that continues to break our hearts by killing off the people we love, only for us to come crawling back to it. It's the TV equivalent of an abusive relationship. But while we count down the last few days until the start of Season 8, we've gone through and searched for 10 interesting facts about the show that you may or may not have known. And if you do know them, fuck it. So if you had questions like what historical events inspired George R.R. Martin to create the original novels, what do idiots, I mean fans, do to Lena Headey at conventions, and who will be left standing at the end of this show? Well, we got the answers for you, except for the last one, because let's face it, no one's going to be left standing. It's bloody Game of Thrones. Number 1. The average cost of production per episode of the show up to Season 6 was around $6 million, with the most expensive episode being Episode 9 of Season 2, Blackwater, which cost a reported $8 million. However, HBO decided to set a budget of $100 million for Season 6, which means each episode of that season had an average production cost of $10 million. This puts the show on par with Friends as the most expensive TV show of all time, although most of the budget of Friends went to the star's salary, rather than, the production itself. I mean, I don't think it cost $10 million to create Rachel's apartment, or her hair. Number 2. While the first 2 seasons roughly cover George R.R. Martin's novels, A Game of Thrones and A Clash of Kings, the 3rd season covers about 2/3 of the 3rd novel, A Storm of Swords. The 4th season covers the rest of Storm of Swords and chapters from the 4th and 5th novels, A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons. The 5th season covers almost entirely A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons, and even early events of the 6th novel, The Winds of Winter. Season 6 through to 8 are partially based on unpublished storylines George provided the showrunners that will reportedly appear in Winds of Winter and the last book of the series, A Dream of Spring, with several major changes the showrunners saw fit to make while adapting the remaining books to the television medium. However, they claimed in several occasions that the very ending of the show will be almost exactly similar to George's original idea for the ending of the book series, which probably means everybody dies. Ooh, it's number 3. Emilia Clarke, who is a natural brunette, has stated that she has never dyed her hair for the show. Daenerys Targaryen's blonde locks are achieved via an elaborate wig and makeup system that takes considerable time to get into place. After Season 7, however, Clarke revealed via Instagram that she had dyed her hair for the 8th and final season. It's number 4. In June 2014, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip visited the set at Paint Hall Studios in Belfast as part of a 3-day visit to Northern Ireland. They met members of the cast and crew and were presented with a miniature version of the Iron Throne. Elizabeth was offered the chance to sit on the throne, but declined, as the monarch of Great Britain is not allowed to sit on a foreign throne, even a fictional one. I got 5 on it. Oh, copyright strike. George R.R. Martin was asked if he had a resolution or ending to the endless conflict in the story. He jokingly replied that the next book would just be a description of a cloud of dust or snow being driven by the wind across a vast graveyard full of tombstones. Honestly, I don't think that's a joke. I genuinely think that's his desired ending, because he's an evil bastard. Number 6. It comes after 5, but before 7. It's number 6. Speaking of that little evil bastard, George R.R. Martin stated that the Lord of the Rings books were a major influence behind his A Song of Ice and Fire novels. Other elements were drawn from ancient European history. The wall is based on Hadrian's Wall, a man-made fortification that was meant to protect Roman forces in England from barbarian tribes in the north. The War of 5 Kings is based on the War of the Roses, a series of conflicts between factions battling for the English throne in the 15th century. Martin also stated to have been influenced by historical fictions and the writings of Tad Williams in bringing back the gritty realism that he felt fantasy had lost along the way. More so, he wanted to avoid the many tropes of the genre and make it less predictable by killing off popular characters and showing that good men don't automatically make good kings. And boy did he achieve that by killing off every good fucker in the show. Number 7, baby. Number 7. Cersei Lannister was voted by fans as the series' most hated character. Lena Headey has said that she's often the victim of fans who direct their hatred towards her character to her personally. People frequently call her names both online and in public and at fan conventions. She claimed that during an autograph session at Comic-Con, people were actually snatching their books from her hands to prevent her from signing it. You wanna know a secret? It's number 8. Game of Thrones has had the distinction of being the most pirated television show consistently since 2012, well ahead of second and third places The Walking Dead and The Big Bang Theory? Why would anyone want to pirate that? Have you seen that shit? In 2017, anti-piracy firms estimated each episode was downloaded more than 90 million times in the week of its initial airing, and over 15 million times in the US alone, almost equaling the total viewers from legal platforms. Good heavens, number 9. During the title sequence, there is a sun in the sky with several rotating bands around it. These bands depict the events from the world's history. The sequence opens with a picture of a city in flames on the slopes of an erupting volcano, next to a watching dragon and a boat full of people. This represents the doom of Valyria, a series of massive volcanic eruptions and earthquakes that destroyed the Valyrian civilization on Essos. The dragon and people represent the Targaryen family and their dragons fleeing the disaster and invading Westeros. The second time the bands are seen, they depict Robert's rebellion, represented by a dragon, the Mad King Aerys Targaryen, battling a stag, the Baratheons, a lion, the Lannisters, and a direwolf, the Starks. The final picture shows all sorts of animals bowing to the triumphant stag, symbolising Robert Baratheon's winning the rebellion and usurping the throne. The title sequence also shows the dragon, lion, wolf, and stag, representing 4 of the great houses of Westeros. I say, old chap, it's number 10. In 2018, 10 characters from the series appeared on the UK's Royal Mail postage stamps, including Daenerys Targaryen, Jon Snow, Tyrion Lannister, Jaime Lannister, Arya Stark, Cersei Lannister, Sansa Stark, Eddard Stark, Olenna Tyrell, and Tywin Lannister. Other stamps feature the Night King, giants, direwolves, dragons, and the Iron Throne. Well, there you go, 10 facts about Game of Thrones. I mean, those facts alone don't even begin to scratch the surface of this massive show. The show's about 10 facts, what do you want? Are you looking forward to this final season? Got any predictions for the show? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're looking for something fun to do, why don't you show Game of Thrones to your grandma? I'll bet she'll get a real kick out of it. And if you like this and you want to help the channel grow, then please consider subscribing or liking the video or even sharing it. Any and all of those things really help us out a lot. But thanks for watching, guys.